Hello and welcome to this new card pick. So we're doing a 3-card pick today and it is on what the fairies want us to know. So I do have a little bit of a setup here, which I'll just share with you guys. I'm really excited to be doing this. And I feel like with so much of the fairy action that we've had here, at my house, inside and outside, and with appearing in the live streams at Maison Jupiter all the time, I just thought it was time to ask the fairies, what is it that they want us to know? So what we're going to do first, I've already pre-cleared, but I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of sage as well. So just taking a few moments to settle in and just to start to connect with your breath. And we're just going to sage using everyone sort of as a little metaphor connection with the cards. I'm just going to get you guys to just closing your eyes, just taking a few deep breaths in and exhaling all the way out, just allowing that sage just to come in and give you a nice, beautiful cleanse. And we're going to just listen to a few of these little tuning forks that I've got here as well. And just allowing that sound to wash over you. And just breathing in, connecting to your higher self. And then just when you feel ready, either visually picking one of the cards that we've got down here, or even if it's to really feel into it, are you drawn to card 1, where we have the pink amethyst, or are you drawn to card 2, which is the magnesium, or card 3, which is the titanium coated quartz? So just having a tune in and a feel into that. I'll allow you to do that for a moment. Okay, so let's get started with card 1 and let's see what you guys have picked. Let's see what the fairies want you guys to know. So I've got the pink amethyst. As you can see here, this is a really beautiful one. It's got a few little quartz crystals in it. Pink amethyst is great because it combines heart energy along with really connecting into higher realms. So more that amethyst we know is linked in with crown chakra and also with our third eye. So this is like amethyst, but like flooded with heart energy. So it's really great for spiritual development, connecting into your heart and developing a sensitivity as well. So the cards that we're using today, we have the first one, which is from the Hidden Worlds. So we're going to have a look at this. It's by Lucy Cavendish. And we have the card Mountain Goddess. So this is a high vibration mindfulness power of the mind. So I'm just going to hold this up here too. And with this beautiful card, we can see here this gorgeous mountain with like a spirit of nature that's connected. And it's almost like nature is wanting to pour into the world or wanting to connect her spiritual essence rather than just the 3D physicality. So these cards are about the hidden worlds. They're kind of about seeing beyond the veil. So for you guys this week, it might be out to get out into the mountains, to go for a walk, to actually connect physically with some of these places where we know that the elementals and the veils between worlds are quite thin. So certain countries will have this more developed. For instance, we see, in Bali and different places like that, that you'll have, places where you actually will see spirit. I remember flying on a plane first time going into Bali and seeing this goddess actually standing on the plane. So look for places like this where the veil is thin, make some time to go out. And the second card that we have is from the Lemurian deck. So we have this beautiful one by Izzy Ivy, and we have Journey to Wholeness. So get out in nature, really connect not only with nature, but with yourself in this journey to wholeness. And we see here, she really has this beautiful, almost like a pink amethyst around the top of the crown chakra. We see that her heart is like really developed. And there's all this beautiful chakra activity going on with a real watery lotus feel. So it really is about a spiritual development connection with nature this week. So the fairies want to invite you out into nature to experience heightened states of bliss, heightened states of connecting beyond the veil and more to those spiritual paradigms. So the next card that we have is from the Fairy Fae, or the Forest Fae, I should say, by Nadia Turner. And with this one, it says the spirit familiar, seeking loving connections and cherished friendship. So you may want to invite a friend out, or you may want to take a little animal. I'm just getting used to the second camera that I've got set up. So yeah, you may want to take a little pet with you. So you might want to take your dog on a walk to connect in with nature. They're also really good at sensing elementals and sensing extrasensory things that are just outside of our frequency and spectrum. You guys will know with cats especially. So even if you're in the garden and you can't get out into nature, or it might be cold, like it is here in Melbourne at the moment, you might even want to leave out like a little offering or something. But yeah, seek loving connection and cherished friendships. The next one we have, and I might have to look this one up because it's a bit more in depth with this deck. This is part of the Brian Frau deck, and this is the fairy godmother. So we know the traditional story in Cinderella with the fairy godmother and granting wishes. We see here that in one hand she has a sphere, and in the other hand it seems to have an orange. There's a very fertility kind of energy that comes with this, as well as like a lot of loving guidance and wisdom. And you can even see those little fairy creatures just hidden down here in different parts. And you guys know from watching my videos that quite often in the trees here and the little scrubland and bushland that we have, where we've taken photos, or you guys have been watching and pointed out in some of my videos, little fairies and things. So look to, if you feel drawn to taking photos while you're out, notice and zoom in if you get that feeling. See if there's any of these hidden little creatures and little guys that might be out there on your walk with you. But let's have a look at her. So she is number 25. And it's from this deck, The Fairy Oracle by Brian Frau with Jessica Macbeth. So he's actually the guy that did the labyrinth, so all of the puppets and things. And little fun fact, the baby Toby was actually their son. And I think they've actually recreated, I'm not sure if it was a stage show or something like that, but it was, yeah, it's fascinating to see that it's continued on in the family. So this is about your gifts and talents. This is also about helpful lessons. So with this, let me just get to a big part of like where we have to go for this, because there's a lot to read. Okay, so it really represents, so it says, say Saray offers last minute rescues. When she turns up in our readings, the good things may well be happening that we don't think that we deserve, or we do deserve, but we haven't thought to ask for. So definitely ask for the fairies that love you unconditionally and are there for your best and highest good to help you or to bring you messages through the week. Even meditating and connecting before doing these cards today, I really felt their love and support around, but you only wanted to connect to ones that are there for your best and highest good. So with this as well, it says definitely to ask, but it says almost impersonally, she teaches us with giving and receiving unconditionally. So helping us to open our hearts to love and acceptance. Sometimes she shows us shows us with abundance. So keep an eye out for unexpected good fortune. This might also mean, finding feathers and things like that on your walk, or finding little crystals or special stones and things. Look out for Sasquatch sticks and things like that too. So keep an eye out for unexpected good fortune, especially when you thought that you saw bad luck heading your way. So remember to say thank you for passing kindness on to someone. Practice a little fairy godmothering to yourself and see how enjoyable it is. Part of the fun is to do it so that the recipient doesn't know where the gift is coming from. So you might want to even perhaps like leave some little crystals or little stones out on your little forest walk. So let's pop these aside. I feel like there's a bit of a self-love nurturing feel with that too. And we'll just get some tarot to have a look into kind of like more of a general read into what spirit wants us to know. And I'm just going to move these guys out the way, making sure to keep the crystals with them. Okay. So hopefully you like my new setup with the camera. It took a bit of work, but it was definitely worth it, I think, in the end, and fun to see a different angle of things, kind of seeing it from how I see it. Okay, so we've got 4 cards they want, and you guys get to see firsthand, literally, how I read in. So I'm just going to feel into these first. So I'm getting the word and the impression of memories. And Spirit is taking me back to accessing your childhood memories of what it felt like to be immersed in nature, what it felt like to be, playful and to pick little flowers, make daisy chains, and to get gum nuts and little things like that. So there's a sense of wonderment that I feel is coming with this reading for card number 1. And remember, we're working with pink amethyst too. So connecting in with that crown chakra, with that loving kind of innocence that pink amethyst brings too. So really tapping back into your element of play. So I'll see if there's anything else. Yeah, I keep getting the word memories as like a big thing. Let's flip these over. So we have 6 of disc, we have the Queen of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the 4 of Cups. So I feel that you guys possibly have maybe not been fully connecting in the way that you would have as children. So we actually see a little bit of a fairy circle here with this 6 of disc. This is Taurus energy with Venus. We see there's a beautiful rose in the center, this Mary Magdalene symbol, and beautiful, loving, unconditionally loving energy. It's very sweet, very heart-based. So with this, I actually feel like it's being invited into fairy realms and fairy portals. We then see here this Queen of Cups who's sitting, and she's in 2 worlds at once, or kind of reflecting or streaming in this other consciousness that she's pouring into our physical world. So this is almost like an invitation to go stand or be within both worlds. We have an 8 of Cups too. So with this is about like, because we see like a progression of these cards, that a lot of us are preoccupied and disconnected. I'm going to read these 2 together. A lot of us are preoccupied and disconnected. We're really trying to control our outcomes instead of being in that play, imaginative type space and mindset, or gut and heart feeling, because there's a lot of cups energy here. So with this 4 of Cups too, and we see there's a disconnect from spirit. So see, like the water's not flowing underneath exactly how we would want from spirit down. So this is really about reconnecting in with your higher self, especially, which has been a huge message. This even appeared on my own channel, this message about connecting in with higher self in my mystical oracle reads that I do too. So huge message this week for you guys to plug into higher self, to have joy, to really reflect on memories of what was your kind of take of the fairy world and enchantment of when you were young. And 4 of Cups is sometimes, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the man under the tree with his arms folded and crossed, and he's really not looking at that hand that's coming from the fairies or coming from God or the universe, trying to give him that little bit of a different look or approach to the world around. So I do feel the fairies want to help you guys and want to sort of tap you back into their mystery and their magic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, if you want to book a one-on-one session to really dive deep in any topics that you want to look into, whether it be physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, I'm here to help you guys. So please use the discount code Jupiter to receive 10% off. And we also have the wellness sessions as well, and my smoothie book. So yeah, please use that code to look deeper into your questions. And let's pop these back. And we will then go to the second pile, which was the one with the magnesium. So with this magnesium crystal, I'll just move this here as I'm shuffling. With this magnesium crystal too, this is really kind of about nourishment. It's about de-stressing. It's about letting this crystal kind of soak in, de-stress, really nourish you as well. So look at like what areas of life you need to nourish yourself in at the moment. And such a gorgeous color for you guys at home. Have a look at this. It's such a beautiful one to hold. You really feel it's supporting, like nourishing energy. So let's have a look at our first card. Our first card is Resurrection. So let me just find the camera. So comeback, rebirth, and renewal. And we can see here there's this beautiful kind of world of an ethereal realm. Perhaps this is a Shambhala type energy, so realms within realms. It does look like that it's a place, not just like where there's portals, but I feel like where there's special kind of magnetism and etheric energy overlay. So sometimes you will go to places, how we said, like within card one, where there will be places like Bali and different things where you can go and experience these things. But yeah, the fairies want you to look into how can you have a comeback, a rebirth, or a renewal. This might also tie in with some of your astrology at the moment as well. The other card that we have is endless opportunities. So some of you may have been feeling like that you're down on your luck, or that things have felt stagnant at the moment. The fairies are trying to bring you back for a comeback and to open yourself up to endless opportunities. So you can see these beautiful butterflies in here, and this kind of unusual, almost like a tiger lily orchid type plant, or oriental lily or something like that. And these little butterflies within the spheres are quite beautiful. So yeah, make some time to dream, to journal, to kind of like jot things down, really take stock of what it is that you've already achieved as well, with looking into like rebirth and things. And you might even want to call upon the fairies to help bring this. And remember, we always say the ones that love us unconditionally and that are there for our best and highest good. The next card that we have, and I forgot to show you guys, if you've skipped forward into the reading, the decks that we're using. So we have the Beyond Lemuria deck today, Hidden Worlds, and I'm also going to be reading from the Fairy Oracle by Brian Frow, and also the Forest Fae. So with this, we have the Gnome of Buttons, or the Gnome of Mushrooms and Buttons. Seek stillness and joy. They are wise teachers. So the Gnome of Mushrooms, and we know mushrooms to be an incredible intelligence here on the earth. Remembering that mushrooms are also known as mycelium, and the mycelium network is one of the biggest communication networks that we have on earth, even extending and reaching under the ocean, is said to be. So they pick up on different sensors and things going in the forest. They then transport messages, and there's this whole kind of almost computer system of communication and networking going on in the forest too. So you might even want to go sit in the forest to do this little process of really opening yourself up to more opportunities. So yeah, with this, seek stillness and joy. They are wise teachers. Now, the last oracle that we had for this is the card of honesty. And I've actually got a photo of a little creature out here that looks a little bit like this guy. And you can see this etheric energy. So he's not quite physical, yet not quite etheric. So let's look up his card in the deck and get a little bit more information on this one. And I was saying, just for card one as well, this guy actually did the puppets and things in the labyrinth. So card 40. So we're going to go into the shorter reading with this because there's quite a bit in the book. So this little guy, this is honesty in a reading speaks unsurprisingly of the need for straightforward detailing and truth in representation. So we need to be scrupulous, honest here, making certain that there is no room for confusion or misunderstanding. No fuzzy edges. Both written and verbal agreements need to be completely clear. Assumptions may not be well understood by all parties, as we are assuming that we need to be tested for comprehension. On a personal level, honesty reminds us to not only be clear in what we say and do, but also to act and speak with compassion and tact. Brutal honesty is not usually true honesty, but somehow slanted in balancing on that fine line of loving honesty, and it may take some effort, but will provide rich rewards. Honest humility, idealism, clarity, and mind are some advantages of honesty. So I feel like with this, I kept getting like a contract signing and things like that. So some of you guys might actually be closing off from certain situations with work and then starting up new opportunities. Read over your contracts and agreements, making sure that like all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. You want to just make sure that that everything is just so. So I'm just going to get some more cards. We're going to have a look into the tarot and what the tarot wants to say this week for card number 2. So I really feel like it's about focusing on your physical and mental body this week for you guys that have picked pile number 2. I really feel that it's not so much about being in I guess, the ethereal realms like we would have with the card 1, and go back and read the others if you're feeling drawn to picking another card too. Go back and have a listen to what it is that we're saying. But yeah, I really feel this is about physical and mental stability this week for you guys. Let's have a look. And I'm just picking where I feel drawn in the deck. We've got another 4 cards. So let's spread these out and get a feel into them. What I feel with these and what I see clairvoyantly is a strong, dominant yellow energy. I feel for some of you guys, it might be about upgrading skills and different things this week, possibly sort of tapping more into like your mental mind to be able to use those resources that you've got. So I feel like there's a little bit of a dynamic balance between a little bit of a struggle feel and not getting weighed down and overwhelmed and pulled into this. So let's flip them over. So we have the Lover's card. Oh, for some of you guys, there might be love things as well, not just like, transition with work. We have the Lover's card followed by 3 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and then the Ace of Discs. So we're seeing some perhaps like higher truths and things coming to the surface. Remember, we had the card of honesty with this as well. So the fairies are really wanting you to trust your intuition at the moment. I feel like this is about not time to be airy fairy, is what I'm hearing the fairies say. So with the Lovers card too, you might have had signs and synchronicities that are, trying to tell you a little bit more. What we see too with the 3 of Swords energy, we've got Saturn at the top with Libra at the bottom as well. So 3 of Swords traditionally will be betrayal or backstabbing, sometimes cheating, sometimes things happening behind your back. If it's in relation to you with jobs and contracts and things like we talked about before too, really making sure that there's nothing that's hidden, nothing that's going on that you don't know about. So this is in the traditional deck is more around heart. In this deck, though, we see that there's an element of the throat chakra too. So if you feel something, it's about speaking up as well. And even if you say in a relationship circumstance, if you're feeling that you can't speak up, that's saying a lot as well. So really work on pushing the boundaries if it is safe for you to do so, to expand and to not hold things in. We do see 2 of Cups. So there could be a new contract or an agreement or even a new love opportunity come in or a new level of love coming in. But I just keep feeling like physical, mental stuff for you guys this week too. Ace of Disc. With this Ace of Disc, we can see here there is something perhaps that might be coming into birth. So this is a beautiful deck with cells dividing. This is the Thoth deck. And with this, I just feel to get some clarifiers. Let me just go to this deck. I forget the name of this one, but I'm just going to flip these over. We've got Mother of Pentacles. So Mother of Disc, you guys might need to take time out. You've been pouring so much into other people. This is balanced, like on a masculine, feminine level. It's really kind of almost like people going to their own corners to really how would I say, nurture themselves at the moment too. So you guys have been giving a lot. Beautiful that we have the matched if we're talking about the Lovers and things. So with the 3 of Swords, there could be miscommunications and things too. It does look like there could be, for some relationships, we're seeing a parting of ways. For others, it's realizing you guys have the same sort of views and values, and you can have a new beginning in this. So interesting energy. And Daughter of Swords. So with the Daughter of Swords or this Princess of Swords too, it's about not getting caught into patterns, not getting caught on like semantics or on kind of like, you said this and you said that sort of tit for tat type side of things. With the Princess of Swords, it's about knowing your battles. So she sometimes will have heart energy invested, but she gets caught in the mental realms and the mental mind games. So advice, we have this 8 of Disc energy. 8 of Disc is Virgo and the Sun. It's about coming back to purity. It's about what are the key points that we do hit on, or if this is for you with work and contracts and different things, and about seizing opportunities. It's really looking at what it is that you want. What are your non-negotiables? And with this, it's a beautiful movement forward. It also represents you've already done the work. So it's not to look at it as though we've got to walk up this huge hill. You guys have planted the seeds. Now it's time to reap the rewards of the hard work. There's just little tweakings and things that need to happen. So that's what I have for you guys for pile number 2 this week. And I'm having so much fun doing this reading. It's a really different sort of style that I'd been wanting to try out for a while. And it was fun chatting with the girls at Maison Jupiter too about the topics, and we all love like the fairies here at Maison Jupiter. So yeah, it's quite special that we get to work with them this week. So in our final deck, and I'm just shuffling some of these cards, oh, they're jumping everywhere. Some of these cards back in, we have the titanium coated quartz. So with this is about durability. It's about alchemy. So we can see here how it captures the light and has this rainbow. So these are said to be clear quartz that are dipped. I know with some of them, they're dipped in gold. With the titanium coated quartz, I'm guessing that they'd be dipped in some kind of titanium element. But yeah, we see here durability. We see alchemically where we have a bit of protection going into higher realms too. It really is like a strong kind of energy stone, or like an armor type feel that comes with it. So I'm just pop him here. And the first card that we have, this is from the hidden deck. So if you've jumped forward to part 3, this is the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds by Lucy Cavendish. We're also reading from Beyond Lemuria guidebook by Izzy Ivy. We also are going to be picking our card from The Forest Fae by Nadia Turner and Brian Frau, the Fairy Oracle, who also made the Labyrinth puppets, as we said in the other ones. So with this here, let's just move this here. So we have the relics of Lemuria. So I know for a lot of us here in the Maison Jupiter community, Lemuria is quite a strong soul lifetime. So looking into what the fairies want us to know, some of you guys might be diving into past lives, and whether it's Lemuria or even going back and doing the Atlantis activation from the gorgeous Elena as well, and Julie, tapping into this, it's about fragments, memories, and reclaiming. So this is a beautiful energy and this reminds me of, it's called Tanah or Tanaha Lot in Bali. It looks like that island that's sort of sitting in the middle of the or near the edge of the ocean, inside the ocean, but it has fresh water. It's almost like a world of its own. So tap into the magic this week, tap into your past lives, or even if you're getting a sense or you're drawn into something, could be a good time to tap in. So the next card we have from the Beyond Lemuria deck is Loving Compassion. And this just has the most peaceful, blissful, heart-based feel. You can actually feel the frequency transmitting through this card. So take a moment just to absorb that gorgeous energy. And we see here too, this is coming down more from those higher realms and dimensions. So tapping into the fairy realms to receive some of these memories that are seeding back, to receive some of these higher dimensional energies that are broadcasting in and that are available for us to access at the moment. So remembering, as we said with the other ones, we only connect with fairies that are here for our best and highest good, because some of them can be tricksters, or those fairies that love us unconditionally. So loving compassion for yourself and for those realms this week. We also have, out of the little fairy deck, the Forest Fae, we have, just trying to get this in focus. So the Wild God, go into the woods near the mud, or what is it? Go into the woods to the moss, to the mud, and the magic. or to the magic. You guys realize I'm a bit dyslexic. Our brain fills in the gaps. But yeah, so this is the wild god. So this is like, when you're kids and you want to get into the mud and you kind of just like want to immerse yourself in all of the feels that the forest has to offer, especially the moss. If you've grown up like where I've grown up, in the forest and things, there's something magic about kind of immersing or forest bathing. So I do feel there's a little bit of a forest bathe type energy this week. The next one that we have is the card of death. So an interesting one from the Brian Frow deck. Let's have a look. What's interesting too is you can see here, it almost looks a little bit like a skull or a sphere. It's a bit hard to make out if that's eyes or not. But what we see here is death sort of showing up. We know death means transformation, renewal, rising from the ashes, kind of phoenix energy. So let's have a look. And that is 53. So these ones are quite long, so we're just going to read the little mini read on this one. So it says, something has reached a natural ending. There is a substantial, irrevocable change in the works. So with this, the change may be the inner or the outer, or most likely both. So with this, the change may be timely and natural, but there may be much resilience to it, or much resistance to it, sorry. Leaves fall every autumn in the spring, and the trees are green again with new leaves. Make room for the new in your life. Let the old go lovingly, gently, willingly. So this is a really, it's a card of letting go of what might be the old. And I know that this has come up in some of the reads that we've done lately. I know it came up in my mystical oracle read on my own channel too, that we're talking about, more reconnecting into higher self and sort of stepping away, or, letting things go. And I know a lot of people are feeling in spring cleaning mode, whether it's my clients that are in the States or Canada, or even myself and friends over here in Melbourne in winter. It doesn't seem to matter. It does not have to be spring at the moment in order to have that spring clean. So look at what no longer serves you. I do feel with this too, looking into, this compassion card, but also connecting into these Lemurian realm energies. So let's get some other cards and find out what Spirit wants us to know. Actually, I'll go for my soft deck first. There's such a stillness and silence with the energy of this one too. And I just want to say, sometimes there can be a feeling of, wanting the cards to feel really, really good, but they're not always the cards that get the most out of us or bring the most kind of transformation and change. Sometimes we do need to go through, a little bit of this death card energy. So I do feel there is a little bit of feeling that it's kind of short term. For you guys, I do feel 5 cards coming out. So let me have a look into these and just run my hand across them quickly to get a feel for them. So what I'm hearing with this is what is meant for you will stay. What is not for you, I'm seeing sort of like come up to the surface, and the way that they're showing it, it's like when we're sifting, if you've got like a little sifter and you're sifting to keep the crystals, but to let the dirt fall away. So there is a little bit of the fairies and spirit trying to help guide and to give a little bit of advice and a bit of protection. I do feel that it is an era of transformation. I'm just keep seeing like a turning over of new leaves, or that new life cycle energy come in. I just saw there's a cockatoo come and join us. So we have the Empress energy. So with the Empress energy, sometimes she can feel a little bit burnt out. But with this, we see a new journey and opportunity too. So we have 8 of Wands energy. But first of all, we have this. So you might need to take time out to go sit in your little crystal cave. And we see the blue lotus over her heart chakra as well. So with this is about kind of like that internal vision, that DMT being activated from the blue lotus, or that visionary aspect of being able to see outside of the box from where you might be feeling at the moment. We see here too the double phoenix rising from the ashes. So its phoenix energy will sometimes also be symbolized with the death card. With this, there's kind of like a humbleness that she has. So this is almost like going about this process or this renewal quite privately, quite internally within yourself. So there might not even have to be this external change, but you might feel like a caterpillar shedding that cocoon. And with this, we have Eight of Wands energy, so Mercury and Sagittarius. And we see here with Eight of Wands, all these arrows fired in multiple directions. With this too, we can see there's a bit of chaos and confusion. It's almost like an overwhelming energy where we just want to, and I'm hearing the lyrics from Missy Elliott, which I think it's Get Your Freak On, where she just yells, quiet. Um, anyway, Spirit will sometimes communicate in lyrics and things, but yeah, I just kept hearing the word quiet. But with this, we can see here, we need to come to a point of stillness. We need to come back into this Empress energy to still, so that we can actually accept and open to a new journey. And you guys will know, for you followed me for a while, that with this energy, this is my quantum jump card. When this comes up, it is an opportunity to quantum jump into a better version of who we are. So with this, I always see it sort of quantum jumping into the High Priestess energy. So with this spiritual transformation, there is valuable lessons and building blocks that you're building within your soul, within your strength of soul at the moment as well. So yeah, the High Priestess in my favorite deck actually has the bow and arrow, but she puts it onto her knees and she quietens the chaos, holds her hands to the heavens, and literally steps into this energy that she's creating and feeling for herself. So she's shifting vibrational frequency and alignment. And this is what's going to open up new pathways for you guys. So the card of the Fool, which when I talk about this, it's not just about sort of like this new beginning or like the sense of wonderment and magic and not feeling weighed down. Gosh, the birds have got noisy, haven't they? With this, it's the female archetypal energy of Alice in Wonderland. So we know with her, it's about going down the rabbit hole. It's about gold pilling, which is also sometimes a bit of an introverted process of not having to be loud and out there and, in that way to convey things. So we see the Six of Swords. So it could be a bit of a travel or a journey or a bit of change of direction for you guys. With the Six of Swords, it's Mercury and Aquarius energy. For me, not only does this represent that, we could be going on to new things or starting to change direction or move out. So it's good. It's showing like this week, there might be a bit of movement around this, still not ceasing, because we have like Five of Wands. So a little bit of conflict and Saturn and control energy with Leo. So it's still kind of like this nail biting, like I don't know what I need sort of remedy type feeling is what we've sort of got with these two cards. But Six of Swords for me is where we have that veil, where it's like that change, that new reality version is like smack right here, but we're not getting quite enough. We're still enough to feel into it. We're still projecting and portraying this old program or this old having to be busy for the sake of busyness kind of feel to it. So yeah, Five of Wands. I also have this nickname of too many cooks in the kitchen with this as well. So try and just do one thing at the time. Try not to force yourself into being overproductive. Make time for stillness. So I'm just going to get some little clarifiers. Eight of Swords. It's the butterfly in the cocoon. You guys are going through like this chrysalis of transformation, but this is also about stepping out of like your comfort zone in terms of mental boundaries and things too. And then Mother of Pentacles. So it's all going to be all good. Mother of Pentacles is a really beautiful grounded card, but it's just making sure that you have time for yourself. And then we have the God's Eye. So with the God's Eye, Four of Wands, this is the new kind of like realignment into who you're supposed to be. So change is not always comfortable, breaking your DNA down from a caterpillar to get into this butterfly state, not always comfortable. But yeah, with the Four of Wands, we see beautiful transformation at the end of this path. So keep up the good work, keep doing your affirmations and everything. And this has been such a joy to read for you guys today. Let me just bring up my screen. So for those of you that want to book a personal reading and really, hone in and look in on the different areas of life, whether it's your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or even kind of the mystical starseed side of things, and the other realms. I really specialize in that side of things too. Yeah, use the discount code Jupiter 10% to save 10%. And we still have my Soul Bowls and Smoothie book up for sale as well, and the wellness sessions too. So head on over to masonjupiter.com and remember to hit that like, and please share and subscribe. It's been so beautiful to read for you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next week.